Welcome to 2023. This is Thomas with Thomas's Turf Tips. This season, I am going to be working hard to work less. So spring's in the air, and it is weed fighting time. So I'm going to try something new this year, and that is putting pre-emergent in my landscape bed. So hopefully, I won't be fighting weeds all summer long. So hang on, and we'll get to it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I have chosen to use Prediamine. That's what I've got on hand. So I've measured out how much I need for the bed that I'm treating. This bed that I'm treating is about 1,900 square feet. So I'm just going to get my paddle in here and mix it up real quick. Get it all dissolved in there. Okay, that should be good. I even made this, I put this little shelf out here this season to make my mixing go easier. I don't know if you saw in the last season, but I was doing it on the ground, having to raise this up from the ground. So still in the spirit of making everything easier, I'm doing that sort of thing. Okay, so let's get this on. And we are ready to go. Okay, had it on high. Now let's put it on low. That's what I calibrated this at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint, kind of like a painter. I'm going to trim the outside edges first, and then I'll do the interior. So what I did ahead of time is I did a dry run or wet run, you might call it. I ran water. I did the same thing, just using water to figure out how much volume of water I would use. And so for this bed, it was 3¼ gallons. I actually tried it with another tip first, and it used more than what was in my 4-gallon backpack. So again, in the spirit of making things easier, I changed out the tip that has less of a flow rate to it, and that way I would not have to fill up my backpack again. So I'm just trimming this out. I'm even going to do this rock bed. So the tip I'm using is an air induction tip, and what it does is it makes a very coarse droplet. And the reason you want to have a coarse droplet is for anything that's soil applied. So pre-emergent is a soil applied herbicide, and so those coarse droplets are going to get down through these pine needles and start penetrating the soil. So talk about timing of pre-emergent. So we're nearing the 55-degree soil temperature mark. So that's when most weeds start germinating, in particular crabgrass. So we want to time it up with that, beat the crabgrass germination. And another thing I've been waiting on is the weather to cooperate with me. So I finished the trim pass. Now I'm starting to do the interior. Trying not to get it on the plants themselves. But back to the weather. So the weather, wanting it to cooperate with me. One thing you don't want to do is put pre-emergent down when the soil is saturated with rain, and then you see another rainstorm coming in the near future. You really want to give that soil a time to dry out so that you don't have runoff of pre-emergent. Get that saturated soil, and then a rain comes, it's just gonna, all of your hard work's gonna really just run off. And that's not good. So one thing you want to do, again, I selected the Prediamine, which is the generic brand of Barricade. I selected Prediamine only because that's what I had. And but what I did is you need to check the label before you put it in your landscape beds. Make sure it's going to play nice with the plantings that you have in your beds. Last thing you want to do is kill off your shrubbery. So the label clearly states what it's okay for, what plants are tolerant of the herbicide. One thing you'll note in here, I have, you can see some green stuff there. That is fescue. So last season I renovated this. This was Leyland cypress, big Leyland cypress that the neighborhood took down, and the contractor did this during the fall, so they planted fescue. So we've still got some tough fescue trying to pop back up. I will take that out with some herbicide later. That's mostly what we have in here. So this season's going to be all about making our job easier. Also have, hopefully, I've got some friends of mine from California who know nothing about lawn care, and they've asked for my help. And so hopefully I'll have some content on helping them out. It kind of starts from the beginning, the basics. And I've already taken a look at their yard. They've got new sod that has some problems with weeds. They have Poa annua. They have henbit. They have all kinds of stuff. They've done a soil test, and the pH is off, so we'll fix that. It's going to be fun, so hopefully we'll be able to get some content on film. And so this is the first time I've done this. I hope it's going to be effective. I don't see why it won't be. Works in the lawn. Why not the landscape here? You don't have a backpack sprayer like this. Sure does make things easy. Get a nice, even, constant pressure. This battery this is a Strom sprayer. I think it's also marketed as a flow zone. They seem just alike, but the battery lasts forever. could run this for 5 or 6 hours easy. So if I've worked this out right, I will run out of liquid right at the end. So we'll see. The next video I do will be of a machine I built in the off season. It is a larger sprayer, 16-gallon sprayer. It's a kind of a Frankenstein of sorts. It is a ATV tank, sprayer tank, mounted on a wheelbarrow frame with a boom sprayer nozzle. So, well, there we go. We are running out of liquid right now. Look at that. Pretty good timing. Wow. It's almost like I'm showing off. I really like the way I calibrated that. Some people will go, okay, you got to calibrate yourself. You got to set up your speed to the speed of the pump and the nozzle. I say, no, that's not the easiest way to do it. Just do that wet run and see how much you use using your own pace, what's comfortable to you. Okay, so I'm out of liquid. This should last me for about 8 months, and then we'll reapply. I've used the maximum amount of Prediamine, so I'll have to switch to a different pre-emergent at that point. But hope you've learned something. Welcome back to the new season of Triple T's. We'll talk to you later.